Hey, I wanted to talk about today Vinland Saga, which has been my favorite anime to watch probably the past two seasons. Um, I want to focus on characters today, specifically Askeladd and how he is, in truth, the main character of the story. For those not familiar with Vinland Saga, you should watch it before listening to this video. And I'm not going to go into context or backstory. This is really just sharing some thoughts and maybe provoking some thoughts in the community that already knows what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'd highly recommend checking out the anime. It's on Amazon Prime Video. So I just finished episode, 23, I want to say. Let me double check. And I've become more and more convinced that the story that the anime wants to tell, and potentially the manga, I haven't read the manga, is about Askeladd, not Thorfinn. And that's because Askeladd is a multi-dimensional character. This just inherently makes him more interesting because his choices tell so much about his character, as well as being more unpredictable than Thorfinn's. In the past couple episodes, Thorfinn has felt more like a flat, kind of one-dimensional, almost some sort of war thirsty, like, animal, essentially. He has a one-track mind, and that's just to get revenge for his father. Askeladd, on the other hand, I think deals with more of the complexity of what the show's overarching themes are, which I currently perceive to be the toll and horrors of war and what it means to be loyal to a country, and how he specifically kind of skirts both those, the primary countries at war here, which are the Danes and the English, because he has a foot in both worlds. I think his mom is Welsh, and his father's Danish, and this creates a little bit of uncertainty and in what his decisions will be. Askeladd is not a sympathetic character, I would say. He is an anti-hero. I mean, I think the way the series is set up, with the world being introduced through the eyes of Thorfinn, Askeladd, through the first 4 episodes, was the big bad. I mean, he was the bad guy. And it's been really fascinating to see and then notice in myself how he is now the anti-hero. And I don't think I've ever, granted, I've never seen past the first season of Game of Thrones, and I think this largely draws comparisons to that series, just given all the social and political and power maneuvering that seems to be going on. But I don't think I've ever experienced a character going from one spectrum of the story to the other, villain to anti-hero, so quickly, I should say. And it working. I mean, I think of like Avatar The Last Airbender with Prince Zuko, but that's, the end of season 2. That change occurs, or Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z or something like that. But and I attribute that mostly to how well the story is written. It is a hard to watch show because it's hard to root for anyone. Even Thorfinn has, killed probably 100 guys through the first 20 or so episodes, and it's a hard show to really root for anyone, but it's nonetheless fascinating. Askeladd, I feel, will continue to play a large role in the show. I'm at a cliffhanger right now where I believe it's Thorkel is threatening to kill him, but I think, unless they throw me for like a real curveball, I think Askeladd is going to be part of the story for a while here, because they're somehow laying the groundwork for his rise to power through his connection to the prince, who I'm blanking on his name at the moment. Anyway, I just really wanted to kind of briefly touch on some of the things I was thinking about, because Askeladd has been the focal piece of the show for the past, I don't know, like 10 odd episodes, it feels like, where Thorfinn has really just been coming in with a secondary story and just kind of like bursting in like the Kool-Aid man through the wall, getting pissed, killing some people, and then like disappearing again for 2 or 3 episodes without much going on. I don't really know how I feel about that, because I thought they had a really good seed of who Thorfinn is and how he felt and what it could become, but I feel like his progression and his transformation has been stalled by the writer finding more legs in the Askeladd story, right? Because the natural conclusion of Askeladd is Thorfinn killing him, but at the moment he is carrying the show, I think. Keeping it compelling, keeping me as a viewer on my toes, and that unfortunately naturally leads the Thorfinn plot to stall, because again, at the moment, the main thrust of Thorfinn's story is his revenge on Askeladd, and how he is just fueled by that. He is constantly just thinking about that. I think Thorfinn will become a friend of the prince. I think the prince will become a bigger character, and I think Thorkel will probably be killed in the next episode or 2 by Thorfinn. But this series has surprised me a lot so far, so I would not, I don't have too much faith in my predictions. If anyone has anything that they would like to add in the comments, please do. You can subscribe. There is no real release schedule or rhyme or reason to what I post or watch. it's really just, you know, whatever strikes me in the moment. And but yeah, I would appreciate it if you subbed, if you've watched this, and go ahead and share your opinions with me in the comments. Thanks for watching.